Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request. Thank you, Edward, for that. I apologize for the lateness. Just been busy with other requests. Try to get to them as soon as I can. But once again, thank you. And for those interested in requesting anyone, requesting any type of reviews, topics, reactions, re-reviews, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under the video. But this is for 2 more episodes of South Park, Season 5, Episode 14, and Season 6, Episode 1. And these are 2 episodes, well, again, I've grown to like and appreciate South Park the more seasons I watch. These 2 episodes I wasn't really big on. I think they have stuff in there that's just not dated well at all. And that's the problem. That is a credit and a curse to the show. A credit where the show can be done so quickly because of the way the animation is done and how cheap it is compared to other shows, that if something happens, some kind of event, within a week or two they could put into the show and be up to date in that manner. But by doing that, because you don't have the time for things to breathe and for new shit to come to light, so to speak, it could kind of hit you in the ass. And I think in both these episodes it did that. By this point, Kenny had been killed off, and I just looked into it, it's more late Season 6 that Kenny comes back just out of the blue. But for the next bunch of episodes, Kenny's not in it. So instead they have the character Butters. Now Butters I don't mind as a character. He's been in other episodes before. And he's a fun character in the fact that he's always very happy and chipper and very, oh golly gee, trying to look at the best of any situation. Kind of endearing compared to a lot of the characters in the show. So Season 5, Episode 14, it is The Butter Show, where his parents are ready to have an anniversary. The dad's going to buy something, and the mom is like, oh, I wonder what your dad's going to buy me. Could you sneak out and see what he buys me so I can buy a present that's equal or better than what he had? Oh, sure, Mom. And, he doesn't understand what's going on, but we understand that the dad is doing stuff because he's gay. He sees a movie called Fisting Fireman. He went to the gym and wrestled some guys, Mom. And the kid doesn't realize it, but the mom does, and then she goes crazy. She goes so crazy, she's like, I can't stay alive anymore, and I can't leave my boy to be raised by a pervert. So she glides the car down into the water, goes home, tries to hang herself. The guy stops her. She's like, oh my god, but I killed our son. What? And the kind of running joke is that this is like the most dark, serious, depressing stuff, but they'll cut to sort of a sitcom tag of, it's Butters, that's me. Like, not quite commercial break, but kind of interspersed in between all these serious moments. Like, the title's The Butters Show, and Butters saying, it's me. So that got a few smirks out of it, out of me, I will admit. And then Butters is not dead. The car was drifting. He got out. I think at one point he meets an old guy, and I think it's supposed to be like Fred Gwynn from Pet Sematary. So, because he's talking like this there. I don't know if you want to go down there. There's a very dark and angry place down there. Sometimes there's better. He doesn't say that line in the episode, but I'm just saying. It's like Fred Gwynn from the original Pet Sematary. I don't know about that thing down there. But we don't want to do that. I can't do it. I don't know, but when I said that the episode is dated, is because the parents are trying to hide what they did to the public. So they say, "Oh, someone kidnapped them," and then their support group is a group of people, including O.J. Simpson, but also this guy named Condit. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right, and the Ramseys, whose daughter, people wondered that the Ramseys killed their daughter, but then you find out that no, there's other stuff that happened. And that's the thing, is that it literally, the episode fucking stops. Literally stops for when Butters comes home and the parents are like, you know what, Butters gets mad that you guys are lying, and okay, we don't tell the truth, and they're talking to the press conference, and then they look directly at, like, the Ramseys. It's not like I could say that we're murderers, and they would just then cut to this person, murderers, and like, you know that you murdered someone, you should just tell the truth. I'm like, they're literally just sitting there and putting the camera on each of these figures. And yeah, O.J. Simpson, maybe they should have just stuck with that. But then, like, the Ramseys and the other, they weren't murderers. They didn't do it. And even later on, when there was an interview and someone said, hey, do you guys ever regret telling a joke on someone? It's like, yeah, you know what, we regret doing that with the Ramseys and others because they didn't actually do it. So we do regret that. And we do wish in retrospect we haven't done it in that way. And the reason I'm harping on that is that this is kind of where it all is building up to. This whole, like, think there's going to be a sitcom, but then the darkest stuff happens. And then it just becomes a podium for the creators of South Park to go, you and you and you guys got away with murder. How do you and you get away with murder? I'm like, I get that, but 2/3, 2 of the 3 parties involved didn't really do it. So now you're just sitting there, you're watching, and it just makes the creators look like dumb fucks, you know, look like dumbasses in retrospect. Only is captured on, well, not on film, but, you know, it's preserved forever. And that's kind of what it was leading up to. It's like, okay, you guys really did fuck up, and this is very dated. And that becomes the curse when you try to do something so quickly without taking a step back and literally fucking your own face. No, that's another thing. But take a step back and look at the situation with a little bit of time to spare. Well, I would say, again, Butters, fun type of character. Again, just how positive he tries to be, again, compared to the other characters on the show. Like I said, another moment I didn't mind is when Butters is trying to get home. There's like a quick bit where he's walking down and you see the lights from the Predator lights on his forehead. Now, granted, it cuts away. We don't know what happens, and then Butters gets home safely. But then it made me go, well, what the fuck did happen? Was the Predator hunting him? Did he want some candy? No? Fuck off, kid. Although technically the kid was not armed, so the Predator would not do anything. So there you go. That's why. But I think because of how random. Oh, it just happens to be the 3 lights from Predator, as in a Predator stalking them. Although not really, but. Although that's still better than The Predator from 2018, the entire fucking film. And then Season 6, Episode 1, Butters is pretty much the 4th party of the South Park kids. Cartman, Kyle, Stan, and then Butters. Although they keep calling him, "Hey, not Kenny. Stop calling me Kenny. I'm not Kenny." Okay, fine, not Kenny. The plot of this is a person comes into town who did commercials. They lost a lot of weight. So the kids get the idea, well, wait a minute. If he could lose weight and get all these endorsements and advertisements because he ate this food, why don't we do it with our local restaurant? This is a Chinese place, Chinese restaurant. And Butters, we picked you. We're going to fatten you up. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, come on, guys. I don't want to do that. Yes, you don't do it. Well, Kenny would do it. You don't do it. And then when you lose weight, and you don't even have to barely eat the food, we do commercials for them, and we'll make millions of dollars. And because you'd say, I ate their food and I lost weight. And then the other part of it is the figure that went into town who did these commercials said that I lost weight not because I ate this food, but because I had AIDS. But AIDS as in AIDS. AIDS as in secretaries and assistants. But in AIDS. Those kind of AIDS. But when he just says AIDS, people just assume, the HIV virus, AIDS. They just assume that, so then he gets fired, his girlfriend leaves him, and all that jazz. Now, before I go on, the reason I say this dates is the person in question who did the commercials, who comes into town, is Jared Fogle of Subway. Who, yes, he was doing commercials saying, I lost all that weight because I ate Subway. When it's like, well, yeah, I mean, not really, I did that for commercials, but I had these aides who helped me lose weight, and that's what helped me. And now, for those who don't know, number one, Jared Fogle was the poster child for a bit for Subway. Until we found out that he was a P to the E to the D to the O. Yes, he liked kids as much as he liked Subway sandwiches. Sorry, my body literally just electrocutes itself whenever I think of I am not even shitting you. I have goosebumps. Because that shit just creeps me out. It does. It creeps me out. I don't get it. I don't get why that exists on this planet. People that look at little kids in that way. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. I don't want to get it, but I just don't get it. Just why are these sick fucks alive? Recently, Bob Saget passed away. 65 years old. Way too young. Other people pass away. But then, I bet if I looked up Jared Fogle, he's still alive. I don't know where he's at. I don't give a fuck. As long as he's not around me, or I break his fucking kneecap. Or find a way for him to do something to me so I can sue him and take whatever money's left of him. And then break his kneecap. I don't understand it. And that does not date this well. Because this whole thing, you watch Jared Fogle, you go, we know who he is now. Now, to be fair, there's a couple moments that were decent. There's a bit where it's a parody of Streets of Philadelphia, the Bruce Springsteen song from Philadelphia with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. There's a parody of that song worked into this. I thought that was actually kind of funny for that song. Also, it kind of culminates in the town realizing, wow, we can actually make fun of AIDS. And they're celebrating that it's been 20 some years, we can actually make fun of this again. I'm like, and then they're actually like giving themselves a statue to be able to do it. I'm like, okay, good on you. Cartman in this in particular just seemed like a super fucking dick. It's just a super fucking dick and prick. Because they do this with Butters, and then they don't get Butters to shoot this commercial, but then they're like, okay, well, we can't do it because people hate Jared because they think he has AIDS. But they, oh, well, wait a minute, that was a misunderstanding. We'll shoot it, but all what you pay is like $15. They're like, $15? Yeah, I'm not Jared Fogle. I'm not rich. Meanwhile, Cartman's at home and just does anything he can to fuck over Butters. Calls the mom, calls the dad, calls them all sorts of names. And then when Butters comes home and going to get punished by his parents, Cartman sits in a chair, lies back, and says something about wanting to jerk off. I mean, yeah, I know Cartman's a dick, but this I thought was just like almost trying to push it for shock value's sake. Because like Cartman's not a, I'm not saying Cartman's a likable guy, but this one in particular just seemed a lot more mean, or just a lot more nasty, or just a lot more pushing it just for the sake of pushing it. I don't know what it is. I'm like, one of the kind of fun things is the kids still acting as if they're young kids. They still say a lot of crazy shit, but there's still that sense of, I don't want to say innocence, but that sense of they still haven't grown up yet. And this just seemed, I'm not going to say it's out of character for Cartman, but I don't know, just something about it just wasn't really big on. I don't know what it is. Just wasn't for me. But, I mean, I'm talking about a guy, a character that ate someone's parents to get back at him. I'm talking about morality. I'm talking about here. So, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but so it's like, and that's an episode I liked. So it's okay if someone fucked him over and he made the guy eat his parents, but you know, this was too much. I know that doesn't make sense. I don't know what it is. I didn't really find it funny. I'm like, okay, you fuck over Butters, you get him, and then you say that you want to jerk off as you're watching the show unfold. I'm like, I just didn't think it was funny. I don't know. And then again, the whole Jared Fogle thing, obviously, you know, they didn't know, the guys of South Park didn't know that's who Jared Fogle really was. I'm just saying something that definitely dates the show. If you watch this nowadays, you go, ooh, shit. So yeah, I would say like these two I wasn't really big on. I didn't really find, there were moments that made me smirk, but and as a whole, I guess I wouldn't say I found them particularly funny. Like season 6, episode 1, there's the city walk where they're Asian, so they mispronounce it shitty walk. Instead of city, they say shitty. Again, the Streets of Philadelphia parody was fun. That was entertaining. That was funny. Butters is a nice addition to the cast. More so, did more screen time. I would probably say I liked him more than Kenny. Because Kenny, I mean, other than mumbling, muffling, or dying, there's just at least a little bit more to play with the Butters character. So I actually do like Butters. I kind of wish they stuck with him instead of bringing Kenny back. I mean, to be honest. But yeah, I can't say of the South Park episodes these two were I was huge fans of, but that's just me. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.